want your credit, your bank, your history, your ancestry. We want your address, your phone, your contacts, their phone when you're home. We want your lunch, your dinner, shopping list, your diet, a heart attack. We want your car, the make, the speed, the holidays you took, the fake details in your logbook. We want your kids, their names, their school, your pets, your pics, your favorite hits. We want your movies, TV, your downloads, the truth, and when you like.
Hey, hi everyone. Welcome. Hi Brooksy. I know you're in the background there. I'll come over to you in a sec. Just let us know if you can hear me okay in the chat. Just 1 second. I just have someone knocking at my door. 1 second. I'm just going to go to this view. Okay, we are good. We are good to go. Let us know in chat if you guys can hear everything. As I said, AV good, all good, cool. Right, we just want to see if you can hear this. Hear that okay? That working?
Yep. Yeah.
Good. Okay, audio's working. All right, we can now go across to this view. We've got 2 spots to fill in, and the StreamYard link is there if anyone wants to join. I've pasted it in chat. I'll just paste it again. Bang.
Hi, chaps.
Click on it. Hey, Ian.
Hey, Ian.
Hey, Andy.
Hiya.
Right. Is it working?
Yes,
Yep.
you're working. Ian's working. Something's going to go wrong soon. Everything's working. Dearie me. So if anyone wants to join the stream, it's by the way, if you're watching and you're thinking, what the heck, this is the pre-show, so we're just setting things up. You can see Brooksy mucking around with his camera, Ranzee's picking his nose, everything's just all getting interesting, right? So don't worry, in a couple of seconds, actually more than a couple of seconds, probably about 13 minutes, we will probably we will launch the show.
Yes. My little heat.
Hi, Darren.
Darren's
Hi.
Darren's videos got to be fixed again. I forgot to save it, Darren. I made all those changes last week and I forgot to save it. It's all right.
I don't know what
I'll just move it again. It's not really a big deal, honestly. I mean, you think it is because you just like.
It's a massive deal.
Yeah.
I have to sit in this cold room here.
You think it's
so
a huge deal.
And you can't even meet me in the middle.
Yeah, no. You think it's a huge deal because, you know, everything for you is a huge deal. No, just kidding. Right, let's move that across the layer.
No, he's not.
There you go. Darren's in the middle now, everyone. I think I accidentally moved this one, didn't I? There we go. All right, I'm going to hit save. So, cool.
We heard you say that.
I'm hitting it now.
Yeah.
Save. Do I want to replace it? Yes. Okay. It should remember that setting. So let's find out next week. Riveting stuff on Synth Geekery. Dear. StreamYard is open. No one's joined it yet. I don't blame you for not joining it because you have to talk and show your face. You don't have to show your face. If you want, you can just block your camera and you can just have your audio. I know some of you like to do that in other streams, so you're more than welcome to do that here. If you just want to have your voice come through, do that. There's the link again. Pick on Ranz. Do whatever you want. My watch thought I was talking to it. Dearie me. Spying on me. Okay. We are going to be talking about oscillators. I did that on purpose. Nothing wrong with phonics. Oscillators. Yes. Part of the synth. So we're going to be talking about that some stage after all the regular stuff. We've got a lot of news to get through, as you guys have probably worked out by watching some of the other shows this week. I guess it depends.
Let me just do my research. Oscillators.
Yeah, do your research. Oscillators.
Single oscillators or multiple oscillators?
Yes, do your research. Yeah. Oscillator gator. Well, look, you never know, because we might be talking about oscillators in a way this week that you may have never heard before. We might be talking about something completely fundamental, about something that you've never heard. So I would suggest that's probably not the case, but I would suggest you do stay tuned to find out, because who knows? Someone here might be absolutely brilliant and they want to join in a discussion on StreamYard or whatever. We might have an electronic engineer.
Now then.
We might have a famous musician from a band that we all know and love. It's never going to happen.
Andy's in
I might have a problem
He's
with
just got a
oscillator.
t-shirt on.
Sorry?
What?
And Ian looks like it
I'm
could be a
wearing
warm place.
Andy's got a t-shirt on and Ian's got a t-shirt. Well, hopefully we've all got some sort of shirt on. Keep your shirts on, boys. Ian's shirt looks like a whole bunch of synth knobs on it, but it's probably not.
Yeah.
It's yesterday t-shirt.
It is.
Oh, it is.
It is.
He's got a knobby shirt.
T-shirt.
Darren, why do you look like you've just come from Iceland?
Because he probably
Because
has.
that's how cold it is in here.
Have you turned the gas off?
No, the rest of the house is warm. But this room...
So turn
no
some
heater
synths
in
on.
here. I used to have a little... I used to have... Yeah, but it's not... I've only just got in, really, so I've not had a chance to. I used to have a little heater here, and just the other day, it broke. So
turn
this
some
room's
synths
now
on.
cold.
If you turn a whole bunch of synths on, I guarantee you that room will warm up.
Nah, but that one it'll blow.
Oscillator modules today can produce a wide variety of
Andrew.
waveforms. Just reading what it says in the encyclopedia. Just I thought that was a good idea. Thanks. Just perhaps I should have done my homework before I came on the line, but
Anyway,
okay.
so Darren's going to attempt this afternoon, this morning, wherever you are in the world, to play his synths with Eskimo mittens on. That's what he's going to do. It's going to sound amazing. Twinkle fingers, Darren, we call him.
Well, all right, because I only ever hit one key, so mittens are fine.
So oscillators a bit later. You guys have got your books. Cool. Don't test me. Don't test me because I'll probably get it wrong. I just like, for me, I don't know about you guys, but I just turn knobs on synths and go, "Oh, that sounds cool." I don't really give two tosses what the hell is like going on in Fourier's transform theory in the back end of it.
Oh, I could remember learning that, but
Oh my god,
I can't remember.
I had
Can't remember
nightmares
what it's all
learning
about
that.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. And we've got.
I didn't, because I never did.
You didn't learn it.
Unfortunately, I got a science degree, so I had to learn it.
I did phonics though. Or
Oscillators.
phonetics.
Oscillators, yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, we do have Synth Addict coming, which is where the black screen is going to go. Oh, and Hendrix joined us in chat on StreamYard. Cool. We'll do that. Full screen it. Okay, so if you want to know what StreamYard is and you're thinking, what the hell StreamYard? That's StreamYard over there. And it looks a little bit orange. There we go. I'll just put Henry.
It's the infinity mirror.
Yeah, that's my feedback to them so they can at least hear me. Otherwise, it'll be kind of weird. So that's them. And I can put them in the corner. Down. It kind of looks weird when I put them in the corner here, but it's... Look, beggars can't be choosers. That's what I got taught when I was a kid.
Just
do you know
put
what I mean?
Henrik in the corner.
Chuck him in the corner.
Beggar.
Yeah.
Henrik. There we go.
That's cool.
And we don't want to crop.
You're called Ranzee now, are you?
Am I?
Yeah.
Well, look, next to Henrik.
Good day, diggers.
What I might.
Yeah, come on, Rans. Let's hear your Yorkshire accent.
I can't really do a Yorkshire. You're gonna take it to the north, and I don't know.
All your vowels have got to be long and flat.
I can do a few.
Depends which part.
I can
of
do
Yorkshire.
a few English accents, but I don't think I can do Yorkshire. Yeah, and I don't really like doing accents because it's a little offensive to some people. I got told off for doing an accent the other day. Someone thought it was racist, so I'm not going to do it anymore.
Well, if you do those sort of accents, it's going to be.
Yeah. I don't know, like comedy these days, it's getting so PC, isn't it? Like you can't, like everything's getting cancelled because someone got offended because, you know, a feather tickled them the wrong way. I don't know, whatever. It's.
Oops.
Comedy never made everyone laugh. Just putting that out there. Like,
No.
There's people that have been comedians for, 30, 40 years, are still around, and I guarantee you those people didn't make people laugh originally when they were, famous, when they were like Eddie Murphy, or, you know what I mean? Like those sort of people, Saturday Night Live, those, and the ones that are getting cancelled now, they still didn't make people laugh back then. So they didn't get cancelled back then. So I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid.
I mean, I remember
Everybody
doing
gets offended these days.
Yeah, I did a support slot for a comedian you won't have heard of, Rans, but a guy called Roy Chubby Brown. He was sort of, his heyday was in the 80s and 90s. He was really quite an offensive comedian.
Yeah.
And so we did this gig, and it was a well-paid gig for the band I was playing with. Why he wanted a band as a support, I don't know. But anyway, he did. He booked us. And he came in the dressing room, and he brought us some beers. And he was funnier in the dressing room just being normal with us than he was
watching what he was saying.
Really quite offensive show, and I just thought it was such a shame that this guy had to be offensive.
Yeah.
Because he was naturally funny. He just that was his thing. That's what his audience expected.
Yeah. I don't know. Some comedians absolutely loves, and like you guys, probably different ones. And some comedians I just don't get why people like them so much. So I think it's a personal thing, like music, right? I think we all have personal taste.
Yeah, there is an off button, and you don't have to go and listen or watch or read that person.
Yeah. See, Darren's got the hood of intelligence on today. He's speaking very, very sensibly.
Yeah. It's the cold. It affects the brain.
You're going to be like wizards, doing wizard spells and stuff on the show.
Yeah. Where's your wand? Get your wand out,
Get
Darren.
your wand out.
Yeah, let's not go down that road. We've already had the big knob, so.
Again.
Well, we can't see your knob, so he hasn't got his wand out, that's for sure.
You can't see it because it's in a different position now, and I'm talking about the camera, not the knob.
Yeah. Okay, 2 minutes to go. Alarm hasn't gone off yet for people that live in San Fran, so we'll worry about him. Now, there may, like, Henrik, I think you may want to add some news. Not sure if we can. We'll try and fit it. I know we had a bit of a chat during the week on Discord. we may have a chance to add some of that. Same with you, Ian. There might be some time to talk about that. Yeah. But I think, like, just having a hunch. The things that I'm going to be showing are the things that probably everyone's been talking about all week. It's the general stuff. Ian, you should already know about it. You've probably checked the blog article that I sent you. Yeah. So they will probably be what most people want to talk about. And some.
We're up to Andy.
Yeah, he's crying now.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Look at that.
Andy's recovering from...
Don't take his modular away.
Yeah, Andy's recovering from the cancel culture. All right. Why don't we let's hit this button. Yay. See? We can start shows. In Australia, we even have buttons. Did you know that? It's not just kangaroos. We can actually start shows. Look at that. Fantastic. Episode number 194, which I have put the topic of oscillators if we make it to that. Hopefully, because I reckon some of us might know a little thing or two about oscillators, and someone watching might think, "Oh, I didn't know that." Hopefully, that was the kind of premise with this. Anyway, big hello to the chatties first. We'll do chatties first because I haven't said hello to them properly. Starting all the way back, we had John Simpson join us as a channel member, so I thought I'd shout out to him because channel members are awesome. Martin Taylor, big hello to you. Prometheus UK, Robbie's in there with all the different nicknames. Lady Aptitude, big hello to you. With Goo, good to see you, mate. Who else we got? Culture of Ghosts, big hello to Steve. Henrik, we've already said hello to you, but you're in the chat, that's good. Ken Lewis is there, big hello to you. Ooh, scrolling. Paul Torbett, big hello. And scrolling. That's probably about... Oh, no, Keith and Watford. There we go. Keith and Watford, I should say. I don't know how the H got in there. Big hello to you. You're one of our channel members too, which is awesome. Sonic Neutronic. Fantastic to have you. And QRDNK, big hello. Cresshead. I saw Cresshead, yep. Mark M. Bleep blop, he says. So, speaking synths, of course. I think it's probably going to... JP Page 2, Chris is there, probably waiting in... no doubt. Chris is probably... Yes. How did I guess? Chris is there. Beautiful. Right, Chris is waiting for that. He's in StreamYard. And anyone else that I missed out on, bad luck. You're just going to have to live with it. No, it scrolled.
That'd be Prometheus was having an assault now.
Yeah, I think I said Prometheus. Right at the start. Replay it.
He did actually.
I did replay it. Replay it, Prometheus. George Kempson's jumped in, and just at the death knock, he's said hello. Anyway, let's go back to the StreamYard people because I want to remind everyone how you can be awesome like these people here. Look at these two awesome people, not the people below, but the two awesome people at the top. You just have to click on this link, which I'll paste in the chat room right now. If you're not in the chat room, you're just not living. You can join StreamYard. There's a couple of spots left. Like I said before, you do not have to have your camera on. If you just want to use your audio, maybe you haven't had a shave yet. I'm not sure what the reason is. Maybe you like picking your nose. Who knows? But you don't have to have your camera on. It's picking your nose theme today. Yeah. I won't start though. Anyway, and look, Andy's turned up just in that little sort of hello moment. In fact, Andy, is your mic working? No.
Not yet.
Sorry, I was on
room
mute.
warm, Andy.
Oh, it's working. You know what we're going to do today?
No, it's not warm.
Just to
Colder.
change things up. I thought we would
Snow in
start.
California.
We would start with the United States holding that side of Team USA. Andy, Synth Addict, how are you, mate?
Hey, thanks. Great to be here. How you guys doing?
Is it me, or are you sounding a bit quiet?
Am I? Let me check the volume. Check, 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 check,
Yeah.
check. How's that
Yeah,
better?
that's a bit better. Yeah. Yeah. Does everyone agree
sorry.
that needs to be a bit better?
Yes.
Oh no, keep it quiet. We don't want to hear him.
Anything cool
It's
been
the,
happening
play
in
solo.
your end of the
Solo, we
world?
can't hear you, right? So. Sorry, say again.
Anything good or cool been happening at your end of the world?
Just the usual stuff. I mean, still didn't get the Osmos yet.
Oh, you're still waiting.
Got some stuff. Got some weird stuff at work lately. With corporate takeovers and stuff. Some of us may be looking for a job in a couple of months. We never know.
Oh
So,
no.
just weird behavior, lack of communication, not invited to certain meetings. Could mean something, could not mean something. You never know. It's very strange. It's a strange world when some of these guys take you over. So, but you just keep plugging away and see what happens. Keep your fingers crossed.
Keep your head down, mate. That's what we used to say at corporate takeovers. Keep your head
Well, it's hard in IT though. You're so visible, so can't really hide too much. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's corporate life. It's high tech. It's Silicon Valley life. It's just the way it's always been. So
Yep. Venture
but,
capitalists
it
rule
was-
the world.
Exactly. There was some good news that both Brooksy and Grace and I got third place at the Hardware Jams thing, so that was nice.
Woo!
Yeah.
Awesome.
We did. Woo!
So, yeah. I mean, people are kind, right? So I don't know. I don't know if I actually deserve third place, but it was
Oh,
fun.
you did. It's really, really good, that one.
I could say a joke, but I
you
don't.
go.
It'd probably be bad. I won't say it. Anyway, keep going.
But just don't say third input. We'll be okay. So. But yeah, good times. Thanks.
Awesome. Brilliant. Should I go left or right? I'll go right. And I think it's Ian. Hey.
Oh,
There
it's
he
me.
is.
Well, what a week have I had? I've been working on a video for a track off the new album, which is called The Rival. That will be on YouTube on Thursday. I went to the dentist and I need 800 quid's worth of work, apparently.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Jeez, they're expensive.
I also
those
did well, actually, we both went. Jane and I went because we haven't been to the dentist for 2 years because you can't get one in the UK. So, and we've got no pain or anything. There's no, I thought I needed a fill in, but probably need 3. And Jane's bill is going to be 300 quid. So we've got to find 1,100 quid for dental care. Anyway, I did the Roland TR8S course on Wednesday. Now I didn't need the introductory course, but I did both because it was all in one night. So it's 4 hours. The instructor was really good, but you're passive the whole time. So there's no time to actually try what he was saying. Luckily, he did send us a video, so I can probably go back over it. But it was and he's very knowledgeable. He was a really nice guy. It was all done over Zoom. And so these things, I think if you wanted to do a Roland course, they're all right, but be prepared to just sit there because that's the way that's the way that Roland want them to happen, but like you say, you get the video back and you can sort of go into bits that you want to try out. So I will
It's
do
like
that.
old-fashioned uni days, isn't it? Where you sat and watched a lecture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that. Yeah, I did. I was taking notes. I bought a Model D,
Hey.
which has got an oscillator problem, but I'm sure we'll get onto that. 130 quid off eBay. Not eBay. It wasn't eBay. It was Reverb actually. But I thought 130 quid for a Behringer Model D was a really reasonable price.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty much my week, really.
Fabulous. That's a pretty cool week. You got a bit of synthy
that was all right.
education, and you got a synth as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to go left, which should be Darren. Darren, the wizard of wisdom.
It was, yes. Well, what can I say? My heater broke.
It's cold.
He's Nanook of the North.
God, I can't even use the keyboard. Yeah, I had the little helper in this week because
one?
I'm doing the track. Yeah, the purple one. Yeah, I was doing the track for tomorrow, and he wanted to just have a bit of a mess in the middle of the track. So I can class him as helping out on the track, say. So yes, a big track tomorrow. So it's carrying on from the ones that I've been doing. So it's another techno acid sort of banging floor filly thing called Perfect Sphere. So that's quite interesting, and it should get you jumping on the dance floor. Actually, yeah, quite like it. One of my favourite tracks I've done. And I ended up writing a 10th track for the album, which I'm putting together now because all the tracks are there until I started messing about and came up with a 10th track. So yeah, the album's coming together, so it won't be long off, I don't think. Very very emotional and thoughtful, this album. So yeah, had some moments doing it when you start thinking, but yeah, that's on its way. It's all been put together now because I've got pretty much the tracks down. I know they all fit in. I've just got to decide how I'm going to put them together on the album. Other than that, I've been working and I'm freezing.
Fair enough. Well, rub your hands together. I don't know, jump up and down.
I am. I'm trying to even start a fire with 2 sticks there.
maybe get the purple thing in there and I don't know.
Let's leave that out of the way.
All right, what else we got? Brooksy, how are you, mate?
Hello, everyone. It's not your grotty as always. No change there. Work. I had my jams on Monday. I got a new module. That arrived. That arrived yesterday. Got me PAMS. PAMS Pro workout. Although all I've done is stick it in the rack because that's all I've had time to do. And yeah, that should be fun. We'll get a chance to play with that later. Going round to Grace's straight after here to do another jam. And yeah, not a lot to report really. Oh God, I forgot to mention. Of course, it's Dean Daughter's showcase tonight at 8:00 UK time on his channel. I sent you the links for that last week. If we could pop them in the chat somewhere. I should have thought about that before.
They were in the blog article from last week too, weren't they?
Yeah. All right, brilliant. So that's Dean Daughter's Electronic Sounds showcase. That's 8 p.m. UK time tonight.
Okay, brilliant, awesome. What else we got? We've got StreamYard people, Henrik and Chris. Nice to have you both. Who wants to go first? Henrik, go. No, we can't hear you, so I am going to swap you over while you sort your mic out with Chris. That's good. Hey, can't hear you, mate. No problem. Chris, how's your mic working? It might be my end. Actually, I'm not blaming people. Okay, so we might have an audio problem my end. Just give me a sec. Let me sort that out. Because both of you aren't working. And so that has to be something weird. Let me see if I can work out what it is. I need to turn that off for a start.
You need cue cards for when Ranzee has trouble.
There we go. I had
the
Bluetooth audio set up, and we were watching something on the large screen. Okay, I'm going to go to you, Chris. Go for it.
Hey, my week. I've been working. Doesn't everyone? I've mainly been in my spare time. I've been building my new case.
Yes, this is lovely.
So it's not bad. I'm quite pleased with the way it's turned out. It's all operational. Tested okay. I haven't checked the noise characteristics of the power supply, but that'll get done in all good time.
If it's one of those Meanwell ones, you should you should be pretty safe. It just depends if your bus board's got caps on it or not for filtering.
Yeah, it's got heaps of caps on it because I soldiered them on myself.
Okay, good. So you should be okay. The Meanwells are pretty good.
I figured. Yep.
Awesome.
So there's that. I've been working on the GB82 eurorack module. It's alive. There's a heartbeat. The CPU is operational.
Nice.
Now I need to plug it in. No, I need to actually. I know. I need to actually make it do something now. So I need to build the other half of it. So
The important half.
so many projects, so little bloody time. I cracked pure data on the Leak this week. So that was a relief because it was driving me mental. So it's okay now. It's I'm doing a pissy little kick noise at the moment, but that's the beginning of the patch that I'm trying to do. Did you get that?
Yeah, we did. I'm just trying to work out, though,
Okay, yeah.
what's better, a pissy little kick or a shitty snare?
Oh, yeah. I know, but it's not quite a kick drum yet. But we'll get there.
Well, a shitty snare is almost inevitable. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You
Yeah,
got
well,
some exciting stuff
So,
happening.
yep. Yeah, I have so many things on. But
Not that anyone else didn't, but yeah, that is really cool. Now, Henrik, your mic should be working.
Yes.
Yeah,
Good.
and it wasn't your fault. It was mine.
I know because I did double check it before.
Fantastic.
But it's okay. Well, it's a little dark in the room today because the wife is sleeping in the background. So
So we shouldn't
I
annoy you
can't-
too much.
It's okay. she put some
Earplugs.
earplugs into her
Yeah.
ears.
Good move.
Strangely enough, yeah. Well, my week it's been good. I finished my accounting Monday. I had a problem where one column suddenly moved down, so all of the data next to the column, all the way down, was out of place, and of course I discovered it after I've entered and moved a lot of other things, and that was hell. So I had to start all over with half of it.
We thought it was accounting. That was just the hell part, but you went further.
Yeah. But now it's done, and yeah,
Awesome.
it's not in my head anymore. Not much. Then I'm about to click on the Poly Effects Hector. I've been
Good Aussie
looking
fella.
for that for a long time.
Lockie.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I would like to know what's your experience with it, Ranzee. I know you have it.
I don't actually have it.
You don't?
Yeah,
I
he
thought
never-
you had.
No, he never gave me one, and I never got around to buying one. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you get one, no, it's fine. But if you get one, you can be the guinea pig in the channel. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm sure I will.
fantastic. Are you going to get the pedal, or are you going to get the eurorack module? Which one? Are you gonna get?
Eurorack. I'm beginning to switch out my sound sources for effects, so I can use my modular stuff with my hardware synths instead of building the sounds in the modular rack. It doesn't turn me on the same way as working with hardware synths. So I will use it more for effects in future.
Yeah, it looks very interesting. How you can chain effects together, and it looks to be a lot of fun. There is one guy that I know that you know. I think Ken, as in Ken Flux with it Pierce, has one of the pedal versions. So from the early days, he got one. So you can, if you've got his contact, you could probably annoy him about it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And just to remind everyone, we do have a bit more room in StreamYard. There's the link there. Or if you like to click on things and get viruses. Just kidding. No, there's no viruses. There's the link there. Beautiful. And I think there's a little bit of room in here. Yeah, there is. There's a room for a couple more people in there. And like I said before, if you don't want to show your face, we don't mind. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah, please join in. Okay, what else can we do? We can start the main show. Hey, with this button. Yes, interesting stuff Roland's making at the moment.
I've used one of those.
Well, of course.
I'm kind of thinking like it's got Braille on it, right? If you've accidentally hit the button and then you've worked out what bidet is or shower, and you've got no idea that it's been made by Roland because there's no Braille under that. Anyway,
I wonder which sounds it makes.
Well, it's
probably one of the watery type sounds.
It's probably Zencore.
Some fat filter sounds and
maybe yes.
It's probably Zencore. Ah, dearie me. Now, big hello to Mike Youngfield and Mike Oldfield. Just in case you're wondering, that version of Mike on the left there is the one that met the Virgin Studios in the day when he did Tubular Bells, I believe. So there you go. That's a blast from the past. He's still cooking around. Good old Mike. Big hello to you if you're listening, mate. What else we got? This is awesome, right? I know what I've got here. I'm putting this on Reverb on eBay. Don't lowball me.
That looks like it's been in Ibiza.
It's a Yamaha synthesizer mixer that has been patch set ready for you. You don't have to touch any of the controls because I've locked those in for you with my fantastic locking design technique. So yes, please.
I think the faders are a bit gritty.
Wait till you see Price Watch. Bid carefully. Anyway, we shall keep going. There is a MIDI cucumber that comes from Spain now. This is latest release. I have no idea how to use it. What's this Old Town?
It's not supposed to be revealed yet. It's MIDI Trio.
At least I tell you to watch it before use. That's good. So.
Yeah.
I can't do it because I know I'm going to get in trouble. Like there's jokes. There's jokes in here, but I just can't do it. I'll let you guys if your mind wanders just very, very slightly, I think you'll arrive at those jokes pretty quickly. Right. Nice of them to wrap it though. Okay, next. And I thought, isn't this beautiful? You know, you've got a chorus and then you've got to press the two buttons together and there's a chorus. I thought it was awesome. So yes, that is it for memes, everybody. Favorite one?
They were all good.
They're all pretty good.
Yeah.
So
the mixer was pretty fun.
Mixer was good. Yeah,
mix is good.
Mixer.
That's going to sell.
I like the mixer.
It's going to sell like hotcakes. Okay, you guys are saying mixer.
Wagyu's toilet.
Wagyu's likes the Roland toilet. Yeah.
Chatties. What was that? Is that toilet one? Was that a little device that they have in hotel rooms in Japan or something?
You can bolt them on any toilet.
I think so.
You can have one at home now.
But if only it had cars.
My girlfriend has a bolted on one in her toilet.
Yeah, it's one of those modular toilets that it's not made by Roland though, is it? It's made by another Japanese company. They've just stolen some samples from Roland.
Toto's like the biggest company that makes them.
I wonder if AR fart sounds from Roland, little PCM samples. Who knows? Their synthesizers can definitely do that. Right. So I think, I don't know. I think maybe the toilet gets it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I think the toilet gets it.
At least it's not a Volca toilet.
Yeah, well, that's where they end
Only
up.
operates on batteries. That would be embarrassing.
That's they make the potty trainer for kids. the small one. So.
Honey, could you get some batteries, please? I need to go to the toilet.
Wow. This is getting really bad.
You know, you laugh, but the soap dispensers at work need batteries now. They keep forgetting to change the batteries.
All right.
That can be, yeah.
Well, on that.
By the way, Ranzee,
Yeah.
before you go to the next, I'm not sure if it's only me or StreamYard. We don't hear the audio on your videos when you present the next element.
So when I hit this button, you can't hear that? You can hear that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But we didn't hear anything on the trailer for this segment and
Oh, the
previous.
stingers? They might.
Yeah.
Okay, so they might need. It might need a second bus to pipe back to you guys. Oh, I'll work it out. But look, hey, you're not missing out on anything because they go really quick. See? In fact, 5 seconds is how fast they go, if you're wondering, and it's done that for a reason. Okay. Right, people. We have hit the nitty-gritty of the show. Yes, we've got a lot of news to get through. Let's start with this. Behringer have released the JT-2, which is an analog paraphonic monosynth, let's call it, that's modeled after the voice or voicing structure of a Jupiter, a Roland Jupiter. It is mono, but it is paraphonic because you do have the two VCOs in there, which is how it's paraphonic. Some of their other products do this as well. Now, it does follow on from designs or announcements that they've done with other Jupiter stuff. So you guys might remember probably about a year ago, they announced this thing. I haven't seen it hit the streets yet. So this is also like a little Volca sort of sized Jupiter analog voice synth. So I'm not sure, how much of that is in the other and vice versa. But look, back to the JT2. It looks to me like most of the layout of this does look fairly sort of similar to a Roland Jupiter. Now, if we actually go to a Jupiter, I'm just going to skip through these photos here. So here's actually a Jupiter. So you can see with the Jupiter that really the only major difference that we can see that's on this, that wasn't on the Behringer single voice version of this, is that whole patch side of things. So from the LCD screen and all to the right, and the keyboard controls and the keyboard, of course, as well. So, but pretty much most of the other stuff is on the Behringer. In fact, Roland had a crack at doing a remake of the Jupiter not that long ago with the JP-08. This is Robbie Puricelli's favourite product. He loves it so much because the sliders really make him happy. One of the things I will say about this is that the Behringer sliders do seem to be a lot bigger in this, so it's definitely a step in the right direction. Plus, the Behringer one is actually analog as well, proper VCOs, proper VCFs, all that sort of stuff. Connectivity on the back of this thing looks to be pretty standard with 12-volt DC power. Look, if anyone's got, like Ian's just picked himself up one, anyone's got any of these Behringer modules, you'll have the standard 12-volt DC power. You can also pull these little babies out of the little cradle and chuck them into eurorack, and they usually have a ribbon cable that will get you powering this thing via your eurorack bus board. But on the back, you've also got USB Type B, which is good. They're listening to us. There's MIDI DIN on the back, and there's also MIDI DIN on the top, which I'll show you guys again if you need to be reminded. Dip switch for changing MIDI channels. You can see it there. There's the audio out. And on the top of the panel, so if we go back a couple of pictures, there's also some CV connectivity MIDI input as well. So you've got gate, pitch, sync, and filter CV inputs, and you've got an audio out and a phones output, and they're all 3.5mm plus the MIDI DIN in. Okay, no video yet, no audio yet, but Behringer did say that it's looking like it'll be around $299 estimated price when they do release. Now, this is a prototype. Okay, so
When?
we have
When
just
is the
shown,
problem?
we showed that JP4000 thing before, right? The little Volca-like thing. That was a year ago that they announced that they were doing that. So, and we still haven't seen that hit the market yet. So let's safely assume this is going to be at least a year before we would see this in the market. Who wants to talk about this briefly first? Henrik. Okay, let me get
one of
some
the things I
buttons
like. Yes, it's not muted. One of the things I like about the Behringer modules are that they are rack mountable, and that makes it good for me because it doesn't have to fill up the table.
Yeah,
so
it's brilliant.
so I can mount them in rows. Yeah. But this one, I have enough monosynths. I know it's 2-voice, it's paraphonic, but
Yeah, it's a monosynth though.
and
Really.
and the Jupiter sound. I also have plenty of digital synths that can sound like a Uno, and it's good enough for me. So I'm not the target for this one. I'm not sure it's the target for many people, because aren't we getting the stomach full now? Haven't we got enough of all those models from Behringer? I don't know. But
question.
it's not for me. I don't think it's for me. Yeah.
Well, I do want to keep getting everyone's comments on this, but I do want.
I don't think we'll ever see it. If I'm
I do
honest.
want you guys to think about one thing, and that is that in terms of Jupiter clones that are analog out there in the market, let's other than eurorack modules that you have to buy 15 of them before you've actually got a proper Jupiter clone, what is there? Ian, what do you think?
What is there out there? I'm not sure actually. What is there out there? Can't think of anything. I mean, my thoughts on this. I'll be honest with you. I thought, oh, here we go again. Behringer launching a product that will probably never see the light of day, really. And my main thought of this was, why would you want a mono version of the Juno sound? You know, it's a
bit weird, isn't it?
Surely the Juno sound is. Sorry.
It's a bit weird, I thought.
That's why I don't think. I think what Behringer do as a company is that they want to keep. They're not producing it very much at the moment. There's nothing new come from for quite a while, so they need to keep interest. So they keep throwing this stuff at the wall, and some of it will stick, and we will eventually see some of these things. I mean, when did they say about the VCS3? That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I think they've got some legal issues with that one.
I'm not surprised. I mean, I would buy one of them.
Oh, hell yeah!
So I thought oh no, here we go again. Really,
Yeah, I did mention the Jupiter clone thing on purpose because Wagyu did correctly identify that Black Corporation are doing the Eisenen, which is a Jupiter clone. It's like a rack mount thing, right?
Can I put a different slant on it?
Yeah.
I actually wonder if this is the result of their research and experimentation into voicing a Jupiter 8 clone, and what you've essentially got is a functioning voice board. If it is working and functioning, which we don't know yet. But if they've got one that's a functioning voice board, then the ability to create an 6-voice or 8-voice polyphonic version is much more likely, because they talked about that sort of idea as well. And it may well be that this is the sort of first fruits of those labours, maybe. So, because I tell you, if they can crack that, an 8-voice analog Jupiter 8 clone, You know, they'll shift like hotcakes, regardless of what we might think about ethics and morals and things. Nobody else is making Jupiter 8s, apart from, like you mentioned, Black Corporation for, best part of £5,000. So I think it's a possibility. I think it's quite exciting. I think it looks beautiful. I can't help myself. I just see that design and go, that's nice. It's just a good design. It's just lovely. It just is great. So I know Behringer's always going to have the detractors, but I think it's just a case of watch this space for a year. As Ian said.
Or 10.
Yeah.
I think
the last guy that
I think Chris
a
said
Jupiter clone
in the
is this bloke, Tiger Run. Do you guys remember this guy?
Oh, yeah.
So he actually made a Jupiter clone. I'm not going to play his video because I don't want to get a copyright claim, but that's his Jupiter clone that he actually made. And I remember going through blow by blow as he made it. He sort of got one voice going. So you're quite right, Brooksy, when you say that, because that's how he did it. He got one voice going, and then once he got one voice going, then he built the other voices. Then he had to work out how to keep them all stable and in tune, and this is the the love affair that you have with VCOs and VCFs. Now the oscillators in the Jupiter 8 are quite interesting compared to a lot of the Roland products that were out at the time. So then, completely unlike the oscillators in the SH-101, for example, which are pretty much just a 3340 chip.
The
right?
3340s, the Jupiter 8 isn't.
No, and this is why a lot of people may be interested in this module, because it is a different oscillator, completely. The filters are slightly different as well in the Jupiters. Then that is presuming that Behringer have gone and done the circuitry of the oscillators and the filters and everything the same as what Roland did back in the early 80s. So, yeah. Anyone else want to make a quick comment before we move on to the next?
I'll just say the same as Ian and Andy.
We'll go Darren, and then we'll go you, Andy.
Mine's just a quick one. I'm just with Ian and Andy. Sort of a bit of both. I think Behringer just putting it out there just because they've got to keep interest going on things, and then also I agree with Andy. Maybe it is a sort of a sneaky sort of prototype, maybe to doing like a clone of the Jupiter 8. So, like Ian says, let's see in about 5 or 10 years, and we may have one.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
mind you, it's all analog. It'll keep my room warm.
Yeah, Andy, you're.
I was just gonna say, even if they don't crack the poly, with too many issues with it, they can still recoup some of their R&D with selling this unit. They can make monosynth people happy. They can make eurorack people happy, and they can also use it to gauge interest if people do want poly or any kind of Jupiter thing from them. So it's kind of a multi-tiered thing, I think. And either way, they win somehow, I think, as long as they have chips. So.
Yeah.
Well, I do apologise if you can hear snoring in the background. It is my dog, and there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately.
Or my wife.
We shall keep cracking on with snoring and everything. This little baby also got announced by Behringer before the JT-2, and this is a Moog clone that they're bringing out. Now, this is not the first one that they've shown. I'll get to that in a minute, but this is the ring modulator, the BM-102, which is very, very, very similar. In fact, this is how similar it looks. If you look at all those knobs and switches and everything, and then you have a look at mine that I photographed just before I sold it about a month ago, it's pretty much button for button, including the graphics and
like it.
everything. But what I can tell you is it is a prototype at the moment. It's the second prototype that they've announced. But this particular one is modelled after the Moog MB-102. I guess the good thing about this is that Moog aren't making these anymore, right? So let's just go back to the Behringer prototype. Moog aren't making
They make the
these
mini
anymore.
fogers.
No, they don't. I believe they don't do them either. So
Even those? I thought the minis are still made.
Yeah, no, the minis, everything to do with fogers have finished, I believe. And what was I going to say? So basically, Behringer will bring these out. We don't know what price they're going to bring them out at, but it'll be sort of, you know, pretty inexpensive. And you guys who know, these things are selling like crazy money at the moment. The Moog-a-Fogers, it's like more than what they actually bought them for from Moog. That's how much these things are selling for. So whether that's a reason to get it or not, I don't know. Let's have a look at the back of it. The back of it is exactly the same. Functionality, switches, plugs, labels, everything as the Moog-a-Foger. That's a picture of mine that I sold a few weeks ago. I can't remember who I sold that to. Someone in the US, I think it was. And but Moog recently announced these, didn't they? The VST versions. So I mean, it's pretty cheap to get these. Like, what are you, 120 US or something for the VSTs, right? I'm not really sure. So it might be easier for you just to whack these into your DAW and muck around with them. I've had a lot of fun with these, by the way, the VSTs. So I definitely don't think they 100% replace the hardware, because the hardware is predominantly analog, and there's differences, of course, no doubt about it. But yeah, I mentioned before that this is not the first time Behringer announced the Moog-a-Foger clone. This was the one they announced earlier. I think it was about the same time they announced that little Volker-looking thing last year in March. So it seems to be let's announce all the cool things that we're going to do. That I don't know when we're going to see it, but let's announce them. This was the analog delay. Now that thing used to sell pretty pricey, even from buying it new from Moog. So because they had a fairly special BBD, Bucket Brigade delay chip in it. But thoughts on the Moog-a-Foger clones? There's definitely two of them that they're doing now, because we know that. Brooksy.
I think we've got more chance of seeing these. Sorry, go Andy.
Oh, I was going to say, can we not have it in a eurorack module, please? If it was a eurorack module, I'd be interested. I see no reason why they can't be. Great, there's guitar pedals, but I'd rather have the ring modulator as a pedal, as a eurorack module. Thanks.
Yeah, good point, but definitely a smaller market. But definitely a good point. Ian?
It'll be a big module.
Sorry. Ian?
I mean, Behringer have got quite a good reputation of making guitar pedals, because I've sold a few over the years, and I've compared some of them, and actually they get pretty close to original. Some of these really esoteric, sort of expensive guitar pedals.
Even
I can see them making these.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I can see them doing these, and again, when? I mean, my question is, how much would he pay for it?
Well, we don't know.
Is it 60 quid? Is it 80 quid? Is it 100 quid?
Even if it was 100 quid, it'd still be way cheaper than what they
would be,
sold at Moog. Yeah. It's a good point.
I mean, I would be much more interested in a pedal. I mean, obviously, I don't need the Eurorack thing. It's quite a big pedal, though, isn't it? For
they're chunky.
If you've got 3 or 4 of them, yeah. But I am more interested in a pedal than having the VSTs.
I've got one left.
I have bought the VSTs, and I'm not intending to.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, good point. Andy, you were saying as well?
I was going to say, if they make it a Eurorack thing, because people want the bigger knobs, it's going to be a big ass module, right? But it'd still be a nice module if they wanted it. I'm kicking myself because there was a time when I could have bought 4 of these things, the different models, for about $1,600, and I just sat on it.
Well, that's what I did.
Now one of them is at least $1,600.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did,
or more.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I'm curious if they actually make a Murph or something like that. You think they're going to go that far and make the crazy ones, the freak mod? And
I definitely think they will. I don't know which one is too crazy to make, but they've they've tackled the analog module, delay module, and that one was actually really, really difficult for even Moog to reproduce. They had to stop making it because they couldn't get the chip anymore. Yeah. So apparently because they own Call Audio, Behringer, so they can just say, hey, Call Audio, make a chip that does this, which is, what they do. So Andy, I did exactly the same thing a few years back. I bought these pedals pretty cheap.
At least you had one, though.
Yeah. And I really, really, really liked them. And it hurt me to sell them But I just thought the price is so good at the moment. Like if you've got gear and it doesn't really kill you too much to get rid of it, and you can still achieve that sound somehow, other way, somehow, you know, whatever it be, the cash is sometimes, you know, king over the hoarding the gear. But yeah, we can move on to the next. If any, I'll just quickly sort of show you the chatties what they're saying. About £100. They sort of seem to be thinking that's okay. I honestly don't think it'll be £100. I think it'll be less. I think it might be $100 US, but it won't be £100. Like 99 US or something. That's just a guess though. The only thing that's kind of pricey about these things is the size of them. So they're one of the things that kind of I found was interesting about it was to post a standard, you know, Boss / Roland guitar pedal in overseas is pretty cheap because they're tiny, right, and they're fairly light. But to post a Moog, they're really actually quite heavy because there's wood sides. They usually have fairly decent heavy sort of metal chassis to these things. They were really quite heavy, and I was posting them for close to $100 Australian overseas, which is like really, really expensive to post a guitar pedal when you think about it that way. A guitar pedal would usually only cost you about $20 to post overseas, so it's like 5 times the price postage. So in a way, that's kind of the negative thing about the Moog. But I know a few mates who are guitarists, and they rate them because they're so big and they've got them on the stage. They never ever accidentally put their foot on a knob. They, you know, because the kick button is quite separate from the controls, and in fact they actually use the top of their shoe. The way they're designed, like if I go back to the graphic, the way they're designed is that usually the 2 knobs, probably not the best one is that one. Where's the other one? Usually the 2 knobs on it towards the front, so the rate and the frequency are the ones that you probably want to muck around with more. So you can sort of get your shoe or whatever and just nudge it. So that's generally what they sort of liked about them. So yeah, whether it's ethical, you know, who cares? Let corporate work that out. That's not our problem, is it? It's really not. You can vote with your feet. If you don't like that sort of shenanigans going on, vote with your feet. You know, it's your choice as a consumer to either love or hate something, or sit on the fence, which generally I do. Right. Moog done. Sorry, scrolling through the pictures again. Do apologise for that. Next off the rank is this quad low pass gate. We were just talking about this last week, people, and out
just
pops
to keep
this one.
Henrik happy.
Just to keep Henrik happy, eh? The Buchla model 292T. If you're wondering what this is, Henrik, this is a low pass gate, and it does have Vactrals, unless you live in the EU.
I did know that.
If you want to buy this and you live in the EU, you can't get it because it has cadmium or something in it to make the Vactrals.
No. Yeah, they got cadmium.
Yeah, and
the right resistors.
Apparently you can't buy them in the UK or the
ROHS.
Yep, but you can buy them.
Who need low pass gates in Europe?
Overrated. Yeah.
You can buy them in the US.
I don't know why anyone would want to.
Yeah. Anyway, there's 4 in this one. So I don't know. While we're talking about this, there is a little video I'm going to show you guys in a sec. But let me just remind you, when we're talking about gates and VCAs and all this sort of stuff, this is how many of these modules that we showed in the last couple of months. There's the Aikido that we showed last week. There's the Mega Tang that we showed probably late last year, which is kind of like a VCA mixer. And then there was also the Instro Khan as well, which had some interesting low pass gate features in that as well. So not to detract away from this thing. Why did that go so quick? Come back. There it is. Yeah. So the good thing about this, I guess, is those people who are playing along with what do you call it? Buchla stuff in Eurorack have been dying to see one of these things, because this is kind of like, as Andy was saying last week, this is kind of like the epitome of the Buchla sound, is the low pass gate with the Vactrals in it. So yeah, I can't play the video because it's not a permission one, but there is a video that will be in the blog article that you guys can check out. I will load it up and show you a tiny bit of it, but just while I'm doing that, you guys can quickly tell me what your thoughts are about the 292T by TipTop and Buchla. Anyone?
I'm glad
It's a shame about the cadmium.
Well,
yeah,
doesn't affect you, mate, because you live in
old,
the US.
I mean, that's
right?
a really old sensor. They've been around forever. So I used to play with them as a kid in Radio Shack. So
what's the EU's problem with cadmium? Is it poisonous?
it's a nasty heavy metal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why Nike had batteries. They got rid of them pretty quick.
Okay, so it's a heavy metal, so it's like radioactive then, is that?
No, I mean it's just
I don't understand.
It's a toxic metal that builds up in your system, and
Okay.
I forgot, it does something to your liver. I think it might be reproductive hazard. I don't remember, but
Insufficient
nasty
doses.
stuff. But yeah, but it's a shame because those damn sensors have been around forever, and in the case of like the Buchla stuff, they pretty much last forever for what I've seen. Maybe they don't. I'm not sure, but so it's not like you're chucking away tons of them. It's just the manufacturer's probably the bad part of it. So
Waste disposal. Right, okay.
yeah,
It's
because
probably
companies
not.
aren't very ethical about that. So
I was just going to say it's probably not that they can't sell it. It's just that it would be too much of a paperwork headache for them to sell it. You can sell hazardous substances, but you need a whole bunch of paperwork and permissions, and it's quite costly, I believe.
That's
really sad.
It's that, but also there's I think extra fees and stuff related to packaging and handling.
Transporting it is a bit of a headache.
Yeah, and it just
But
wouldn't
the
make
UK's not in the EU anymore.
Well, apparently the UK still has this rule, according to TipTop anyway. I don't know if it's true or not, but anyway.
Oh, well.
The video I've got is not really showing the 292 T, even though it actually says it on the thing. Anyway, I'm not going to bother showing it. The link will be in the blog for next week anyway. I'll actually post, just in case you guys want to save it to your bookmark. That's the video that I was talking about there. It's linked in the chat now. If you're wondering, let's quickly talk about this quickly. It does feature 4 low-pass gates, which are controlled by Vactral circuits, each containing its own attenuator, selected to change the modes from low-pass, combo, or gate. Now, what that means is low-pass, combo, or gate means that when you're in combo mode, it acts both as a low-pass and a gate, so it's kind of both. And there's separate inputs for each and separate outputs for each, so you can see the outputs are at the top, inputs are down the bottom. This is kind of normal for Buchla to be doing things this way. There's also a summing output for all, which is the top left, and there's also CV control down the left hand side with the black 3.5mm sockets there for each of those inputs. Quite a big beefy module. It's $350 but look, this is not really going to be breaking any rocket science. It's fairly straightforward what it does, and those people that would buy this would know exactly why they need one. So well done to TipTop, I reckon. By the way, if you do want one, I know a way of getting one, so I won't say it on the show, and you do live in the EU, I know a way of getting one over there. There's a trick, but I'm not going to say it on the show. I don't want to get in trouble.
Since the UK is also separate, do they have to worry about the CE mark anymore, or is that still not a
No, it's still they've still subscribed to that as well, because that's
none of those things have been repealed yet. They're in discussion as to which they're going to keep and which they're going to get rid of.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? The government are taking their time deciding what
they do
what to keep and what not to keep.
Well, the problem is we've got the same problem here in Australia. The problem is because we kind of did like Brexit years ago, right? The problem is that if they do get rid of those engineer certifications, then they have to form their own, right?
Yeah.
We've got this thing called like Australian standards, which is an absolute shit fight for some things. Sometimes it's really good, but in a lot of cases, it's way behind where the world needs to be, us to be, and people are trying to get products in this country, and because it doesn't comply with Australian standards, because they don't exist, here we are. Yeah. So you guys will have that problem if you remove some of those things. That's probably where you're at with it. The EU seems to be pretty good with that, I thought, because they're collectively, especially Germany, are pretty big on getting all that sort of engineering stuff, because they're such a big engineering country, right? And not just Germany, there's others. But it's probably sensible if you guys kind of cool your jets a bit on that stuff for now, anyway. Unless you really want to go out and boutique yourself out in the engineering market, it would just be a bit crazy, I think. Yeah. Okay, chatties, Buchla stuff. Who's into Buchla in the chat? Let us know if you got a whole bunch of Buchla stuff. I guess, the interesting thing is that you can't really do Buchla fully in Eurorack yet, and TipTop are doing a good job to bring it out to us, because Buchla modules that are made by Buchla are not Eurorack compatible, but the TipTop ones are. So we're not surprised, mate, that you've got them all. Stop boasting.
Yeah.
No, there's about 5 or 6 modules now. They keep coming out bit by bit.
Yeah.
So
I think
eventually
7,
they'll have the.
Yeah.
Is it 7? Right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, that's if you've got one of each, you're probably a long way to achieving that. So, because they're not stupidly expensive.
No, they're
either.
really good.
I mean,
$350 for this. It's all right.
Is that $350 US? Was it?
Yep.
So it's probably come out around $299 UK, something like that.
Yeah, about 300K.
Okay.
Yep. Beautiful. All right. Now, this is actually not the right button. Oh, yes, this is the right button. I just got to go through these again. This is interesting news. This is a leak that we've discovered through multiple different sources. It's quite a slow leak. It's like when you got a small tack in your tire, and every couple of months you got to pump your tire back up again. The MPC XL. Now, if you don't know anything about MPC, they've been around for a while. The MPC X is the big flagship one, which kind of looks very similar to what you're seeing there. And the MPC XL is supposed to be the new one that Akai would be bringing out, according to these leaks. So I don't know how good these leaks are. But anyway, what I've done on my blog article, you'll see there's already actually an article on this, and I might as well just show you guys because you can see it now anyway. It's live. If I go across, we'll go full screen on that baby for you, and then click on there. That's live. And the good reason why you want to go to this is because I've got the video that covers probably everything I don't need to say is said in that video. It's actually quite a good video. Decent UK fella does that one. But all the graphics, if you're really into leaks and you really kind of want to keep track of engineering stuff, PDF documents, everything's there, including all the leak sources down the bottom here. So you've got MPC forums, GitHub. GitHub's the one where most of this stuff is kind of coming from. And then you've got the MPC gang on Facebook, who have some really decent discussions on it. They aren't also talking about a new MPC 1 as well. And the reason why they say that is because they actually are referring to it engineering-wise. And now what happens basically from here is NAMM's coming up, right? And they have this thing where they have to give 7 days notice if they want to announce things, publicly, and they have to do that through this is a US requirement, by the way. Now to do that, they have to upload user manuals and something to do with descriptions of the products and stuff like that. So basically everyone who's watching these government document sort of submission portals will literally know about anything that Akai will release 7 days before NAMM starts. So if Akai probably should just release it 7 days before NAMM, really. That's probably what they should do. But yeah, it's interesting. Those photos, did you see that they look like really, really old sort of style, with the grey and the white paint? It's got almost sort of retro sort of look, didn't it? So the MPC. And it looked almost exactly the same form factor, buttons and pads and everything. So this is why I'm kind of scratching my head about whether this is true or not. So I kind of left all those links up there for you guys to go check out anyway. So if you guys want to see it, it's on ranzee.com. I'll just put the link in. And it's the first blog article on ranzee.com. Go check it out. Any thoughts about this? Are you guys interested in leaks? No one cares? Some people are. Who's an MPC person?
I'm not an MPC person, but I'm interested in the Mini.
Yeah, the Mini.
Interesting in what comes out, because it's Akai, and any opportunity for a manufacturer to kind of come out with something that refines something or makes it more available to more people is always of interest to me. I don't have any Akai, so always looking for that first one. So we'll see.
And the MPC Mini, from what I've heard, is going to be not a full, it's not going to be a full-fledged MPC software on it. So, that's got me intrigued as well. So what will it be then if it's not going to have the fully fledged MPC software?
Yeah. What are they going to cherry pick?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then the MPC one, the new MPC 1.2, I don't know how you'd say it, but MPC 1, whatever, MPC 2 maybe you should call it. The other thing too is that it seems that the MPC 3 software is very, very close to being imminently released as well, because they've got everything now. This is software wise, right? Not hardware. Everything that you want to do on your hardware, you can also do on the MPC 2 software, right? But yeah. Anyway, I don't really know if this is what I'm saying. Like Wagu's saying is it serious or not? We don't know. This could be, it's not April Fool's, so who knows? But yeah, usually these engineering things that are submitted to governments are pretty true. Like you're not going to go to, because it costs money to submit these things, right? You have to apply, pay a fee, things like that. So yeah. So I guess watch the space for NAMM. When's NAMM, Andy? Are you going to NAMM this year?
We'll see. If this whole work thing doesn't work out the way I want, probably not. But I am planning on it. Yeah. So I worked hard to get that stupid certification to be able to go, because the riffraff can't go. You have to actually prove you're worthy to go.
Yeah.
It's like industry only. So with some output I showed them and some webpage crap I put up and some other stuff, there's like, oh, you're okay to go now.
Yeah.
So I don't want to let that slip away. So
yeah, they keep asking me to go. I keep saying no.
Yeah, same. They asked me as well.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, show me the airline ticket and I'll come.
yeah. Fund me, I'll come. Yeah.
Manny said it's 14 to 16 April. So yeah, it's not that far away. I mean, we're almost at March now. So, what are we, a month and a half-ish away? So it's pretty close. We'll be talking about NAMM on the show pretty soon, is kind of where we're getting it. Yeah. But look, if nothing gets released by Akai at NAMM, it just means they're not quite ready with these products yet. That's probably what it will mean. I kind of have a feeling that we're due, because I've had my MPC Live since 2017. That's 6 years. When you say it like that, you think, what? 6 years? Wow.
Got a lot of updates though.
hell of a lot of updates. They kept that thing pretty fresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, 6 years old, maybe 7 years really, when you think about like R&D that goes behind it and stuff like that. I've had my Force.
In fact, the instrument library they had
2018.
on sale at Christmas, I got for the Force. It's actually quite nice.
Yeah. I've just ordered a deck saver for the Force, the little plastic thing that you put over it. Keep the dust off of it. I've still got the LCD screen protector on it too. Should probably rip that off one day. I've never even needed to do it though. We digress. Okay. Next is probably what everyone wants to know about. This. And I kept this to last because, I don't know. I think that all the other shows have done it to death. And but there is one thing I want to talk about this. Okay. I think Roland have missed a trick here. So I'm going to tell you what that is in a sec. But let me just quickly, if you've never seen this and you're watching the show because all you ever do is just watch Ranzee show and that's it, good on you for a start. But secondly, this is actually a new digital desktop synthesizer that's just been announced by Roland during the week. It features a multi-timbral synthesizer with 11 different synth models / algorithms, and they've grouped them into kind of different sections. So you've got classic, which has got the SH-4D, which is a 4 oscillator synth. This is all digital, by the way. SH-3D, which is a 3 oscillator synth and a second LFO. So it's basically burning an oscillator for an LFO. Then you've got the chord version, which is the SH-4D in a paraphonic sort of chord thing. You've got Future, which is cross FM, which is a 2 operator FM. Wavetable, which is a 31 wavetables for modern wavetable type sounds. Drawing, which allows you to draw your own custom wave shapes, which is, I guess, is interesting. That part I thought was interesting. Modulated, you've got a ring mod, 2 oscillator shaping ring mod, a sync. This is kind of where I'm thinking that they're getting a little bit too fancy with separation. Like, if you look at any synth, you can do sync and ring mod as a separate thing. Do you know what I mean? Like that sort of thing annoys me. We'll get into that in a sec. Legacy, SH-101. Emulation. Now, I believe this is the Zen 2 core of the SH-101, Juno 106, and all the PCM samples, probably from, I don't know, Roland Cloud type stuff.
It's only the oscillator sections that they've modelled.
Yeah. Now, there's a rhythm section with 49 preset kits and up to 64 user stores, and each kit you can store up to 26 instruments, each having their own 2 layered waveforms and dedicated EQ and synthesis tools to shape. Look, connectivity, you've got USB-C, which is a plus, runs on 4 AA batteries, last up to about 4 hours on that, they reckon. MIDI DIN, in and out, external clock, there's a mix input to 1 1/4 inch output, stereo, headphone input. There is no individual outputs, and I don't know if this is compatible with the MX1. The rumor is that it's not. That's the rumor, but I could be wrong. On a plus side, we do like knobs. Who likes knobs? We like knobs. Darren, you like knobs. And it's good to see
I like
a
knobs.
non-menu
I
divey
actually-
synth.
Plenty of knobbage.
There is still some menu diving in it, but there's
Yeah.
more. There's lots more knobbage and sliderage. And
Okay, so
lightage.
Ranzee's opinion. Here we go. What did they miss? What did they miss? Okay, I'll tell you what they missed. I think it could have had a JDXI, JDXA analog synth in there as well, and I reckon that would have made it really kind of interesting, because it's kind of like a groove box the way they've set this thing up, but I don't like calling it a groove box because I think it's probably more a desktop synth module than a groove box. But if you look at that graphic, it does. Oh, where'd the graphic go? It does kind of set up itself like a groove box. Graphic, come back. There you go. With the sequencer and arpeggiator and all the other features that it's got in there. $649 US, $929 in Australia if you're looking at my side of the woods. €599 euros.
I thought it was less than that.
These are the RRP prices. To me, Roland's grouped a product again, which really doesn't conquer any new ground. I don't think you can't really. I think you can achieve everything this thing can do with the stuff that's already out there, whether it's in Roland Cloud or whether it's existing Roland products. But I can see the appeal of this to the DJ groove producer market, and that market
This
pretty
did
much
appeal
is
to me a little bit, because
Yeah.
which is very rare for Roland products at the moment. But
Yeah.
it does have a few issues, and they're only niggly issues. I mean, why not put 4 individual outs on it? That
Yeah,
for the part
just about to mention
would have
that.
been.
Yeah.
Why
go for
not?
it.
It's just needing it. And if they'd have, because I thought the price was $499, but if it's $599, because I was going to say I'd pay an extra £50 if they put 4 individual outs on it, and maybe even a bit of CV would be good, and I'd be sort of tempted, which is unusual because I've not been tempted for much from Roland for a while. So at that price, I would have. Yes, it's like, why can't they just put 4 individual outs? And why does it have to be? Because I know you can get the 4 individual outs via the USB, but why can't they just put 4 individual outs in case you want to do all things with it? And like I say, CV would be quite handy, but that wouldn't be a killer. And I'm not sure. It's not actually as. I'd like it to be. I'm just getting too thinky. I'd like it to be a tad bigger and probably made a bit better as well, because I've got a feeling it's going to be quite plasticky.
Yeah. Look, when you said 500 quid, it's a bit over 500 quid, by the way. I think someone in chat mentioned it was 542.
That's what I mean. I thought I'd seen it at 499. You see, on one of the videos. But and I said if I'd pay an extra £50 if they'd put like CV, a bit of CV on it, and maybe 4 outs, and make it a bit better. And a bigger. Oh my God! By the time I finished the video.
4, 9, 10.
I kind of feel like I'm.
Instrument, and
I've been talking to a few people
maybe
about
I don't
this.
like it actually. Maybe I don't like it. I convinced myself I did. No, I don't actually.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm the only one that doesn't like this. I kind of think it's same old with Roland. I'm really not seeing. I'm not really seeing anything.
Quite likes it. I don't know. No. I think it's different. I think it's got the potential to sound fantastic. I loved Sonic State's demo of it with what's his name?
I did too. Yeah.
Pinball.
That
was really great. I understand what you're saying, Darren. It's you think, well, why can't I have that? I'm just thinking. I'm thinking, what a great little box. Oh yeah, I'm actually think this is the most exciting thing Roland have put out in ages. Actually,
I'm with you, Andy. I've not been excited about the Roland product for a while.
You know,
and this has sort of tweaked my interest.
That and the sample track and little keyboard, perfect EMOM material. I'm just thinking,
what's an
brilliant.
MC707 with?
It's also got another feature which of course you can pick it up and waggle it.
Oh yeah,
the D motion. I think that's it's very daft. It's very daft.
Very daft.
I think.
Quick, buy it, everyone! Buy it. It's got that.
My Opie one's got that, and I've never used it.
It's stupid. Mercury switch, isn't it?
Someone was playing with an iPad when they did that, didn't they? With the and gone like this. Oh, maybe we actually make the.
Okay, you're all ganging up on me now. I'm that shallow. I just thought that was like, oh, that's aesthetics. I like that. You know.
It's got an XY thing too, Andy. You can do that,
neck.
And it's got the XY thing that's like D-beam, right? It's got that as well. So
turn it into a guitar.
Right. Well, on the screen, it should have like a marble track.
Oh, is that what I want to do?
You go down the hole.
Wow.
High score.
Yeah.
I did quite like it. Sorry, go ahead, Rick.
No, Ian.
Oh, okay.
I
do like it.
And
just hang on, Henrik. We'll go to you in a sec, and then we'll go to you.
Yeah,
we're getting.
I do like it.
It's. I wouldn't buy it. I'll be honest with you. I can't see it fitting my needs at all. But I really like the Sonic State demo. I didn't like the corporate Roland video, which I thought it didn't really, from a sound point of view, didn't add anything. But the guy playing it, and sort of playing the buttons and playing it with a keyboard.
The
I
wireless one.
think he did a great job. So yeah, I mean, give me, if I've got a choice to spend 600 quid, am I going to buy that or am I going to buy a Mini Freak? It's going to be Mini Freak.
Mini Freak.
Mini Freak, definitely.
Yeah,
Freak.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but,
All right,
but
just
the Mini
complicated
Freak,
matters now, Ian.
the Mini
Sorry?
Freak is at the same price as this one, and the Mini Freak only has one envelope.
Ain't no polyphony.
And I do like this one. I think it more like a synthesizer than a groove box, even though you can make sequences in it. I do like it, and I've looked at the dimensions, and it fits perfectly in a eurorack if you can make the rack ears yourself. It's 4
They
units
should come
high.
with rack ears if it's
but-
about laptop.
What? What did
They
you
should
say?
come with rack ears. Enrique, I just said
Yeah, they
these
should.
companies should sell them with their rack ears, because quite a lot of people don't want it on the desk, and there's a few of these like desktop boxes which, if they had rack ears, it'd be like, yeah, I like that. I can put that in a case or anything, but they just don't. And I don't
The
know why.
boutiques were like that
It's
as well,
annoying.
weren't they?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were annoying.
I agree on that.
I mean,
One
it's-
problem is
even if
when
they
I
sold
say
them
4
separately.
units. When I say 4 units, it's excluding the space for connections.
Cables,
So
yeah.
you need one more unit,
Yeah.
but that could be a lamp or something. So
Yeah, it probably needs to be 5 units, doesn't it? To be fair.
The DeepMind,
Yeah.
DeepMind 12 comes with rack ears, so why can't other? And I think the HydroSynth does as well. So why can't other? Why can't they do that? Even if
Maybe-
you have to buy them
yeah.
separately.
Maybe
I would go with
Roland.
that.
Maybe Roland just had some board meeting. I don't know, 30 years ago, where they said, "We're not making any more rack-mounted stuff." Bang.
No,
I
we'll
don't
just stick a gyroscope in the synth instead.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's that's the 70-year-old man leaving the
that out and
company
stick some
and the
rack ears on it.
20-year-old man entering.
Chris, you are reading my mind, definitely.
Hmm.
Actually,
It's
I'm
generational. Yeah.
I'm interested in your thoughts on this, mate, because I honestly
Yeah?
think we're probably on the same wavelength. Let's hear your thoughts.
This is not going to be on the top of my shopping list. Mini Freak is definitely going to be still on the top of my shopping list.
Same.
Not that I have any real awful feelings about this thing. I think it is the most interesting thing I've seen from Roland in some time, just as Darren said. But it does seem to sort of in very similar territory. It makes me feel a little icky again about manufacturers sort of trying to one up each other, and so you can imagine that Roland heard wind of of Arturia making a synth that was that was going to be the next synth, and that was going to be taking the Micro Freak and taking the oscillator sections from those digital oscillators and putting up. I'm sure Roland went, shit, we've got to do one. We've got to do something like this with lots of different oscillators in it, lots of different types of oscillators. It still feels like a kind of a marketing decision, again, that sort of drove it. That's not to take anything away from the people who work at the company and design these things and turn these products into well-rounded products, which I think they do an excellent job of that kind of stuff. It's basically the big decisions that are made at the top. The other thoughts are, these are a bit random here, but the other thought I had of was, you were talking, Rance, about why have they got a separate oscillator type for ring modulation? I think they've gone, see all these Eurorack people, they like all their modules to have different types of synthesis in each box. We should do that. That's obviously the bit they like, different boxes for each thing. I don't think they quite got the Eurorack. I think they've heard about it, and they think they understand it, and they've taken something they think that is part of the ethos of it, and said, let's make a separate oscillator for these different things. So
yeah, but maybe we don't know what they are thinking about when they upgrade it. But perhaps they are thinking that these different multi-timbral parts can interact with each other. If they're thinking that, it would be a fantastic machine. But I'm
I don't
not
think
sure
so.
they will.
I think it's
No.
I think it's purely to do with the CPU can only handle this, so that's why you need to, and the multi-timbral part was kind of loosely worded, I thought. Doesn't the Mini Freak have analog filters on it?
yeah, it's hybrid.
Yeah,
That's a big difference.
So-
and that's
so-
precisely what you mentioned, which was
here's the
you're right
trick
about
that they missed.
and yet it's weird because they've done it before. As you
Yeah.
said, the JDXI has analog. It's like they've understood that people wanted a little bit of both worlds
Yep.
in a product.
CV
and here they've just
connectivity.
gone, oh no, goodbye,
Yep.
forget that idea.
Yeah.
Let's go 100% digital.
Yep. No,
It is
very,
on.
very little CV. It's got a clock input. That's it. So no CV input, which I think is also a trick missed. And if you're talking about the modern DJ / groovebox performer producer, they're probably going to have a little Eurorack case on the stage. That's kind of where they're traveling now. Like people have got the deck, they've got the mixer, they've got the little couple of little desktop module synths, and a little Eurorack case. And I kind of feel that's where we're heading. Like if you look, Arturia Mini Freak, there's Eurorack connectivity to the Gazubi there. Let me see if I can get a picture up.
Gotta have
Just
a
because we
Gazubi.
like to. Yeah.
I think this should be been built as very much like the Hydrosim shape, about that size as well. Because I think this is a lot smaller. I think.
Yeah. Look, these discussions I like having with people because, we all have different needs and opinions and things like that. I can't find the photo where it showed. There you go. There you go. There it is there. So at least this has...
Isn't it amazing? Isn't it an amazing time we live in that people are making
Definitely.
different things for different people's tastes? It's
absolutely.
fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I don't think I'll be buying this one. I just want you guys to be aware that there is definitely a flavor with Roland at the moment where they keep sending out the same sounds in their boxes that they're making. And sometimes they bring a new synth out which makes new sounds. And I would really, really like Roland to do more of that. So I'm hoping that the SH-4D is one of those new groundbreaking synths that can make new sounds, and one day they'll say it's a classic. I don't know. A lot of people are saying on social media that it will probably end up on the Bad Gear show in about 2 years' time. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, hang on.
Not even 2 years,
they
but-
don't have. Yeah, I mean, it's not like they have Korg's, software development department. It's not going to be that bad, is it?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
I'm saying nothing.
I will say this though for Roland, it's been a while since we've all reasonably liked the product, and and had a good chat about it for a while.
Yeah,
most
true.
of the Roland stuff for a while has just been because did you say it's not Zencore and it's not ACB, it's a sort of combination of them both. Did he not say on Sonic State? Which
Well,
I hope they're not
yeah,
going to start
I've
bringing
heard
it's-
another.
I've heard it's Zen 2. This is what I've heard, and I don't know really if that's a thing or not. But that's the buzzword that's been floating around at the moment.
On the Sonic State demo, he just said it was optimized. So
Right.
that's,
That's right,
that's code for that's code for basically we made it run on a smaller processor.
Yeah. The thing
Yeah,
is,
'cause they seem
Roland
to have
will
a habit
actually
of doing
think
it
this
for
is
2
cheap.
years and then
That's what Roland will think. This is
Yeah.
actually one of our cheaper products. You guys can afford this. It's $929 Australian. I wouldn't say that's cheap.
How much is a TR8S?
Cheaper than that. 700, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not in the
I
same.
think I paid
Yeah.
600 for mine.
Yeah.
Because
MC707 was the question I had before. We were all talking at the same time. So how does this compare to an MC707? I mean, the price point is different. I think not by much, but the price point is different. Because we're talking about multi-timbral, like Henrik, you and I were talking about multi-timbral stuff before that Roland had brought out. That's kind of groove boxy / desktop-y type, fits in this kind of world, right?
Those are about $800.
Yeah, 900 here.
Yeah.
So the MC707 is a bit more pricey. Okay, a couple of $100 more. Yep. Definitely a multi-timbral.
Squeezing quite a few groove boxy type style things within that £600 to £800 sort of price range, aren't they? Now,
Bit of a list, isn't there? Yeah.
So there are a couple of funny things about this box. When I first saw it, I thought, do you guys know what an SH-32 is?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So I have one. I was trying to find it to show and tell, but
It's Darren's favorite.
It first made me think of the SH-32 with sliders instead of knobs, right?
Yep.
Because the form factor and the fact that it has all these extra thingies in it, just a much simplified version. But then I heard the demo on Sonic State, and it was like it's a very accomplished little box. It does a lot of different things. It's not too menu divey. It has some cool features. They did miss the trick with the CV, although you can, if you have eurorack like I have MIDI to CV stuff in my eurorack, so that's not a deal breaker. It's nice to have it built in, but if you have eurorack, you probably have a MIDI to CV little tiny thing somewhere to take care of that. Multiple outs would have been nice, of course. It's a perfect little hardware jam thing, or it's a perfectly place for your lap to take out on the park bench, because it runs on batteries.
Exactly thinking.
But here's the funny thing that people didn't notice. If you look at if you look at the funny arpeggiators and the funny oscillators and the accelerometer, they took all that from the OP1. It's like it's a hybrid with the OP1. So it's those little, like the little Etch-a-Sketch sequencer, that's right out of the OP1. The little tombola thing with the bouncing balls, that's right out of the OP1. The accelerometer, that's out of the OP1. The problem is, I bet they didn't even add the functionality the OP1 has with the accelerometer, where you can tie it to LFOs and effects and a bunch of other stuff, which is pretty clever. So they did make it kind of gimmicky, but they were clearly looking at Sweden when they made this thing, because there's some stuff right out of the OP1.
Good little pickup there. Just while you're still there, Andy, there's the picture of the SH-32.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and
looks a bit like a Buchla easel.
That is definitely a good. That's a good little sort of segue, I thought, from you, Andy, because this does look like it is like the SH-32 version of 2023, right? I think you definitely picked on that one. That's good, beautiful.
They already have the form factor. They just modified it, added new goodies to it. So
let's just go back to that screen grab again. It's not as colourful as the older Roland stuff, is it? It's kind of pretty
boring looking, actually.
Yeah.
It's got colourful lights though.
Yeah. Look,
I still like it.
Lots of people do. Lots of people do, and lots of people are thinking, So each to their own. Spend your money if you like. What is it? Nearly $600 US. Oh, it is over $600 US. Nearly $1,000 Australian. $929. Wow. Yeah.
On Toolman, it's still the same as the Mini Freak.
Yeah. I kind of feel like you guys are on the money with the comparisons with the Mini Freak, and definitely the comparisons with the OP1. But what I'm hoping, this is kind of where I'm at, because I don't really know a lot about this product yet. I haven't got one in my hands. I'm hoping that maybe it is actually going to be a really cool thing, and people are going to find some amazing things with it. And and good luck to Roland if that's the case. I can't see it yet, even after watching 50,000 videos on it, which, by the way, a lot of them did not excite me at all. Just heard a lot of standard Roland sounds that we've heard for years come out of it. Yeah.
So I bought the MC-101 so I could have a Zencore device.
Yeah.
I wanted to get some kind of Zencore device, not just to have the computer all the time. So I bought the MC-101. It's a cool, capable device, pretty clever. But I would much rather have this than the MC-101.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
Now, Henry, you did say that you're kind of a bit of a fan of this. I'm going to put you into this. Let me just get you up. Yeah, go.
Yeah. I'm happy it's not available yet because I may change my mind. But right now, it's it's very interesting. I think I like the many controls. I would think of it as a synthesizer with a good drum section with some very good sounds, and I wonder if there will come an upgrade where you can combine some of the multi-timbral parts to one part, so you can have more voices. It would be nice, but again, I'm wishing. But I'm watching every video coming on it at the moment, and especially Alex Ball's video was very, very nice. Really made me fall in love. So what's that video if you want to fall in love?
I don't know about
I watched that video. It's good.
He's a good video
Can I just
person.
ask a question before you? Just one thing that's just coming to my mind. How good is Roland at firmware updates?
System 8 was brilliant. If you owned a System 8 from like early days, but a lot of their other stuff, they haven't been that good. MC707 owners, I believe, have been pretty happy. Not 100% happy, but pretty happy.
Yeah, TR8 didn't get much.
TR8.
TR8S.
They kind of
FM.
They burnt us a bit on the TR8, didn't they? Remember how they made us
Right, well,
pay
you've
for
all
those?
answered my question then.
Exactly.
It's a little bit hit and miss. So
Oh yeah, I wouldn't go. I
I
definitely
was
wouldn't
gonna
go in thinking what Henrik's thinking. I wouldn't go in with the crossed fingers hoping that they're going to do a firmware update on it.
They'll
because
probably
they'll
add a
do
song mode in
Yeah,
front.
not like
no,
an Akai
no,
or
it's only
anything like
wishes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. That would be never an option to buy something that they hope that it's going
That's
to
what
be.
I mean. If you're buying a Roland product, I usually
I mean-
say what you get is pretty much going to stay as what it is.
Yeah.
More
I
time.
mean,
But but think of the people who bought the Moog 1. If they have bought it and not thought of what would come in the next firmware, then they wouldn't have bought it. So
But
sometimes
I think Moog did say that they were going to do the updates. Though they actually publicly announced that, so it's kind of different.
And there are some companies where you know updates will come, like Polyend and in this case Moog or whatever. But Roland, I
expect
don't
more from
know
Moog,
how
though.
often they come with something. Yeah.
I have to say that because they did an upgrade not that long ago on the TR8S, which included probability, which I didn't know about until I did that course this week, and that's brilliant. They should have been shouting about that. You know,
Yeah, that's
the
a
fact it's
handy
now
thing
got
on a
probability.
sequencer. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, they added FM as well before that. It was cool.
Yeah.
They're both good.
Yeah, so half God, half beast said it perfectly there. The TR8S is totally different to when it was originally released. Is kind of probably what he was trying to say.
Sure.
It's a completely different machine to its original release. In fact, when it was originally released, a lot of people didn't jump on board with it as ferociously as they are now, because probably like you and me, Darren, we probably looked at it and thought it's just very too similar to the TR8. Like I don't really see any major benefit, but now it's actually quite a lot more different.
I mean, I love
The
it.
original circuit, they changed
The
that a lot.
Akai Force. The Akai Force, it couldn't do much. It was great at
Clip launching.
Clip launching and finger drumming with quantizing and
Hard
not
to
much
streaming.
else. Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't do that in the start.
Yeah.
No.
But the original circuit, it took a year to get any editing on it at all, other than third party. and you couldn't add your own stuff to it. And then they had a cloud-based thing, and they kept adding more and more and more. So Novation's really good about adding stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, the base station too.
Yeah.
You know, I bought that synth in 2013, and it got a firmware update almost 10 years later. It's crazy.
OP17 10 years later is still getting updates. So, you know.
Yeah.
Back to Roland. When did they release a synthesizer the last time? I think this is a synthesizer.
The JD, what are they called? The Phantom. The Phantom was the last one.
Yeah, the 01 series.
Yeah. The Phantom 06, the Phantom
series.
08. Yeah.
And
I actually really like those. If I had a bit of spare cash, I'd probably still get one, because they're actually a sampler as well. There's a whole bunch of things that they are, and they did a good job of that firmware. There's a few issues with it, but it is a cut down version of the bigger Phantom. But you know, some of the reasons why you'd want the bigger Phantom is probably because you might be a performer or something like that. This I definitely think this is definitely aimed at desktop producers or DJs or those sort of people. That's who this is aimed at. Do
you think they'll do an SH 6 or 8D then? 8D.
Yeah, like a smaller one. They might.
Or a bigger one, because they usually do like with the MC 707. They usually sort of that might be on its way next year probably.
I would say that depends on how well it sells. If it becomes a hit, then they'll probably go for a 6 or an 8 version, I would have said.
Yeah, perhaps a keyboard version. I think when Behringer releases their SH clone, it may be time for Roland to release something like that.
That gives them 10 years.
I think we're still waiting on chips. I think that's the problem, isn't it? These chip manufacturers have probably got 3 or 4 years of backlog manufacturing to get through. So companies like Behringer, and I know they've got their own chips, but they have to still get chips from other people.
Yeah.
So Anyway, Roland actually do have I believe, their own access to chip manufacturing, and they can customize things and that. And you know that they do, because if you open up some of their gear, there's FPGA/DSP processors combined into one with the Roland badge on it. So you know that they've got access to this stuff, and they seem to be bringing products out without too much stress into market. And that side of Roland I like. You don't hear a big lead time. Hey, we're thinking about doing this, and then 6 years later, oh, it's here now. It's like bang, here's a new product. Interesting. They're still sticking with that, and I kind of think that's refreshing.
I'll give them thumbs up for that.
Yeah,
you never wait in years when someone's
and it's not NAMM yet either, right? There's no NAMM. What real big sort of thing is happening around now for them to release this? There's no NAMM. There's no what do you call it? The super booth. So all of that stuff's coming, in a few months' time. But yeah, good discussion about the 4D. Who knows where it's going to go in the future? That's it for news, though, by the way. Chatties were kind of similar to us. I was kind of keeping an eye on Chatties. They were talking about things that they liked about Roland, things that they frustrated about them. I think there's going to be some younger generation, and the DJ people will probably be keen on this Roland thing. Then again, Roland Cloud could probably do most of that with a bit of sensibility with the laptop. So who knows?
I was just wondering, actually, Rance, is this Roland's attempt at sort of a gateway drug for the Roland Cloud? Because if you get one of these boxes, you get excited about it, you get those Roland sounds, and you start going, I'm a bit bored of this box. Oh, I can get everything on the computer, and then I can do everything on the computer that I wasn't able to do on the box. Oh, I can do that. maybe it's introducing that side of things to a newer market subtly. Hardware jammers who just wouldn't look at software at all. I'm staying away from the laptop, and then they're doing hardware jams with this thing, and then they're reaching limitations, and they're going, I quite like to do an album now. I'll get it working. I wonder if I could just get those sounds. Hey, I can get this Roland Cloud thing, and all the sounds sound exactly the same. It's brilliant.
So this doesn't really have like Roland Cloud integration in it. It may in the future, and this is one of those things. Right now, it doesn't. It does have a user configurable, drum kit part. There's you can create your own oscillators when you're drawing them. Those sort of things are user defined. But in terms of like downloading PCM samples from a D50 on Roland Cloud and things like that, no, you can't do that. There are some synths that Roland have that you can do.
That attracts me that it's not needed to have Roland Cloud. I did have Roland Cloud in the beginning, a few years, and I felt cheated by it. So I left them. And haven't looked back for 8 years or something, 6 years.
It's changed a lot since then, though. I'll give you the tip.
Yeah, but I still feel cheated. They promised me to have some plugins, and I still had to subscribe to be able to use them. So that was not fair. So
I'm not a fan of Roland
It's interesting.
Cloud.
It's interesting. I mean, I've got the System 1 there above my finger, and that has an SH-101 plug out on it. We'll call it a plug out because that's what they want us to tell people what it is.
And the best keyboard ever.
That thing has never... best keyboard ever. I think one of the keys doesn't work on it. Yay.
I had to take mine apart to fix it.
But the good thing about it is that thing has never touched a computer with USB or anything like that for years and years and years. That thing's sat there, and it's controllable via MIDI DIN, and that SH-101 plug out has been rock solid. So that, I reckon, that technology that Roland came up with seems to have fallen on the wayside, and it's a pity because I think that's actually really, really
It's a shame.
Cool. It's a really cool.
I mean, there was a point when I was vaguely interested in the System 8 because I liked that. I liked that idea. I like that idea of being able to completely swap out a synth, But you're right, and I think they've almost abandoned it, haven't they? There's almost like nothing happening.
Well, they released one recently, so we won't say they abandoned it because that's not fair.
All right.
They did release one recently.
What was the one they released recently?
The Jupiter 4.
All right.
Yeah. And it wasn't.
It
was late last year. Yeah, it was pretty good too. And there's lots of people who were like really happy that came out. So it's a beautiful sounding synth. The ACB, it's still pure ACB. So they did all the research on it and things like that. So they did actually a really, really good. Look, there's a System 8 there, right there, next to the camera. That synthesizer would have been absolutely amazing if it had aftertouch. That's all they had to do on it, is just put aftertouch. So, I don't know. Yeah, Roland do these weird things, don't they? They do something really, really cool, and then they stuff it up. I feel like swearing then by just
Yamaha.
not doing something.
ODX
like
has no aftertouch.
Yep. Like the keyboard on the System 1. Or if
Really
you
is
buy
a
this,
kitty. If you take apart a kitty keyboard, those little like $40 ones, it's the same kind of cheap crap.
it is. It's absolute shocking. It is.
It's all
shocking.
stuck on a template. All the keys come off in one piece. With little springs underneath. It's terrible.
Who was that product aimed at? It was aimed at the DJs, right? And you know what happens when you're out clubbing? People are like getting pissed and beer and crap's going everywhere. That keyboard would be the least likely keyboard to survive an ingress of beer and piss and sweat and crap,
Also, the key travel is very short too. That's the funny thing.
Yeah, it's really bad. But there is actually one little tiny thing that I do like about it, and that's if you whack it really hard, the velocity. It's good fun for velocity. So you can get if you've got a patch that's got a really interesting velocity reaction, you can get some cool effects out of it. Because you can't do that with a normal keyboard because the travel of the key is too much. But that thing, just whack it. That's probably why that key doesn't work. Anyway, we digress. Some people are going to buy Mini Freaks, and some people are going to buy SH-4Ds. By the way, when are they available? I heard that they're pretty soon.
Next month, middle of next month. Towards
middle of next month.
the middle to end of next month. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not too bad. So put your orders in now. Roland will love you forever. If you love digital stuff,
and then they'll move on to a different product.
Yeah, go for it. I think people will have fun with it, just not me. Right? Okay, we are going to do this. Have I got a doozy for you? I have got
sound.
I've got bad luck. You're just going to have to deal with it. I've got an absolute. Everyone else can hear it. Look at this one.
Wow.
Henrik, you just need to just take a chill pill, mate. You'll be fine. Right, 248.
Sing on the next one.
248,000 for a Quasi MIDI Cyber 6 synthesizer. There you go, Andy. And the reason it belonged to Kraftwerk. Apparently.
Never seen a Cyber 6.
Apparently.
No bids, though.
How do you trust?
What's wrong with people?
Do you trust it? It's live on eBay. Hooray! We can see this. Ah, dear. Go away. I don't want you. Okay, so let's have a look at the photos first. So we'll start with the photos. We like the photos. It does look like it's in pretty good condition. Which Kraftwerk member would have played this is the question. Anyone can guess? Who played the Cyber 6? So had
Wolfgang?
Florian?
Ralph
did more singing, didn't he? It was probably Florian. Could have been Florian. He was like he really liked the Odyssey though, didn't he? When he was around. Anyway, let's see what it says about this Kraftwerk thing. It doesn't say anything about the Kraftwerk thing. It really doesn't. It just says that it belonged to Kraftwerk. So, yeah.
Belonged to Kraftwerk, used it in their live performance and studio.
Yeah. But how do you prove that?
Was this around the time as a Raven? It's very looks very close to a Raven, that as well. Very similar.
Pretty interesting question. Like, if you have a synth and you got it off of, pick someone. Martin, you got it off of Martin from Depeche Mode, right? And Martin's your mate. You went to school with him. And then you thought, well, money's a bit tight. Interest rates have gone up. We've got to pay the mortgage this month. I'm going to sell that synth that Martin gave me. He won't care. He gave it to me 20 years ago. How do you prove it? I mean, unless you get Martin to write you a letter and say, yep, yeah, I gave it to Ranzee. Yep, yeah. But there's
at least
no
a picture
mention
with it or something.
Yeah, there's no mention at all. Yeah.
Well, in antiques and art and all that sort of thing, it's called provenance.
It is.
And if you haven't got provenance, it becomes worthless.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily worthless, but it loses a lot of the value.
At that price, you'd want a very good provenance.
Well, that's
it.
Would. That's it.
You want Ralph Ritter inside the bloody thing.
There is it there. Yeah, exactly. That is a lot of money for a synth. Is that the most we've seen? That has to be pretty much close to it.
It's just ridiculous. It's just
that is insane, isn't it?
That makes Jupiter 8s look like toys.
It's not a synth as we go. You know what's funny? I've been doing this price watch thing for it's almost 4 years now, right? And I never ever thought that this segment would take off, because I thought no one's interested in the prices of synths, and B, that a synth would ever be $250,000. That is insane. Yeah. There we go.
$350.
Well, it's just because I want to be on Ranzee's.
That's it.
You're trying hard.
Do you reckon they could have given us free shipping? I mean, This is what I'm saying. If you guys are going to charge us $250,000, I think, the shipping could have gone on the wayside. Anyway, next, we're going to go into some real ones. So these ones definitely are not scam. These ones are real. And I have to say that because, your mindset is in scam territory. And then all of a sudden I flick across to this beautiful Korg Sigma, the KP30. And this is a really good price. I don't know. If we could get Mark Doty on this show, he could tell us a thing or two about this thing, because he loved the Lambda and the Sigma for the timbre, that the divide downness about it and all that sort of stuff. So these are really interesting Korg days when they brought these things out. Has anyone ever played a Sigma? Out of curiosity, out of you guys, anyone in the chat?
No, played a Delta.
I played one once in a shop, and I enjoyed the sound of it. It's great.
Yeah. And the divide down, Korg, I think Korg had it down pat. With this particular sort of era that they had, like mid to late 70s, that they were bringing this stuff out. Yeah, it was awesome. $1,400 US is actually pretty good. I'm letting you know. If you guys have got a bit of spare cash and you like this sort of stuff, that is actually a pretty decent price. Andy, I know you like to get yourself a bargain. I'm thinking this is actually pretty close to being a bargain. That one's in Florida too, so postage-wise wouldn't be too bad for you. One part of the US to the other. Not too bad. At least it's not coming from overseas anyway. It is an auction. It is live as well. So let's have a look at it. It is a very interesting user interface on this, isn't it? Look at those big chunky buttons.
Yeah.
They are massive. It's like maybe it was designed for the fat organ lady in the church to play with her sausage fingers. I don't know what they were thinking. But the Sigma logo on the top, beautiful. This is Korg's little sort of Greek lettering naming of synths at the time. It was a nice little time for them.
It's in nice condition.
Yeah, it's really good. Very good condition.
It is basically
It's even got a flight case. Look at that. That's a bonus. Those flight cases are worth about $100-200, aren't they, on their own? Surely. Well, I'll keep tricking myself into thinking that. $1,400. Who thinks in chat that that's a steal? Needs to splash a carpet. Boomerang for side cheeks. Yes. They do come back if you throw them. They've got boomerang side cheeks. Boom, boom. Right. Next one. Kawaii Key 1M. We've done a couple of Kawaiis lately. This is like a interesting one. This is
I have one of those. Yeah.
You did? They've got some good sounds in it.
I still do. Yeah. They're the poor man's D50, right? So
They are.
I have a K12 keyboard, but I bought one of these because I wanted a portable one with this joystick and stuff. So
Is it worth 390 Australian? What are we looking at?
in fact, there's a big mod community for them too. You can mod the crap out of them. So
This is in Croatia. So that's just under £200, by the way. And it's live. It's on Reverb. So it's not bad. MIDI. What's the cartridge thing in the back of it for, Andy? Is that a memory card?
Presets, yeah, for storing your presets.
So it's like it's like a Kawaii special type of thing. You
No,
can't...
it's similar to the one that Roland uses. I forgot the actual model number, but you know how the Z1 has one and the D50 has one and this one has one. They're all slightly different. But they're just, you put a battery in it, store your patches. So.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty good price. There you go. It's probably got a few scratches on it, and what do you want for something that was made 30 something years ago?
Loves the K1. Has done a lot of crazy stuff back in the old days on Harmony Central as well as Gear Space. So
Yep. I do have one more. And this one I got specifically for Wags. Daniel, this one's for you, mate. The Kruma Bit 1.
Lovely.
Yes.
But not at that price.
Well, £1,000. £1,000. This one is in Croatia again. This guy Miro, he's got some gear. Go check him out if you just a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump from Italy. You can go through Italy, have a bit of fun there, and then cook on over to Croatia and check out Miro's Gear Depot. Have some fun. Whoops, not that one. Sorry. It is live on Reverb too, so you guys can check it out. I thought the price of this was okay. Why would you say it's a bit pricey, Andy?
Why would
What's
I
he?
say it's a bit pricey? Because it is. Really? Yeah, see, that's why it's in your scam section.
Can you just imagine Brooksy answering, like marking his students' essays? Now, I want you to describe why this language has remnants of Latin, and some kids like, because it is. A plus for you.
Correct.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, can't argue with that. It's not what you say. It's
I'd
how
never
you
even
say
heard
it.
one. Actually.
A bit one. I mean, they were sold in this country through a company called Chase. So it wasn't called the Kruma. It was called the Chase.
Yeah.
Bit 1, bit 99, bit 01.
Right, okay.
And they
Wasn't it up
sounded
against
fantastic.
the
They were really.
106?
It's the same period. It's not. It's two oscillators.
They're digital.
It actually really. No, it's analog.
Oh,
well,
it's
they're
analog.
DCOs, whatever that means. But it's analog, and it has a really lovely sound. I mean, Wagyu in the chat said he's got one, and they do sound lovely. I would have cheerfully given a bit 99 house room way back then. But again, there was 699, and that was just more money than I could have shelled out. So I ended up with a Poly 800 instead.
6 voices.
Yeah,
DCOs. That's what I was thinking. It's so they.
It's DCOs, but I mean, what does that actually mean again? It's a lovely sounding synth, basically, but whether you spend, $2,000 on one these days, I'm not convinced, really. It's not that long ago you could pick them up for next to nothing. I mean, Wagyu said he got his for, 89 Swiss chuffs or something like that, he said.
89 Swift chops and a packet of crisps and a can of Coke. Beautiful. It's supposed to sound like a Juno, apparently.
Yeah.
But I don't. So this is the thing. I don't get that. I see so many people put synths up that have got 2 oscillators, and they say, "Oh, it sounds like a Juno." Well, there is a massive problem with that straight away. Junos don't have 2 oscillators; they have 1. So straight out of the bat, it's not going to sound like a Juno. It might with you just using 1 oscillator, but yeah. It also has 2 LFOs, and Junos don't have 2 LFOs. It does have a VCF, and 63 user patches. Don't use them all up at once, people.
Yeah.
Geez, I don't know. I thought that price was pretty good. $2,000. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. So there you go. Price watch. For,
Yeah,
Was
really
it Australian?
collection
Was that
synths,
again Australian dollars?
yeah. So half that, £1,000.
So £1,000.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I've been a bit harsh.
Well, if he got his for 89 chuffs, I think you're probably on the yeah. I don't know. 808 State used it, and I got a feeling I know what sounds they used too, because there's some distinct, like go to YouTube and check out what some of the Bit 1 factory sounds sound like, and you'll go, oh, I remember that song.
Yep.
Or those songs. Yeah.
In your face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, musicians can be lazy. We're allowed to be. We're allowed to have patches. As long as we wear
The
one.
gear
over
lists
our-
on 808 State albums always read like a, oh god, well, I wish I had that. Oh, I wish I had that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly on Oh, come on. What was it called? The double album. What was the double album called? XL. Got there in the end. XL. Yeah.
Well, for Pacific State, they use
They
the
were on
entire
17.
Loon Garden patch bank on the Emacs. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robbie's saying that 808 States Graham Maisie is on Sound on Sound podcast this month. Sorry.
Oh, cool.
So there you go.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Bit of a segue there. Nice.
Thanks, Robbie.
I think he's also, there's an article on him in the Electronic Sound magazine as well.
He's an interesting
Not this
fella,
one.
isn't he? Got a lot of
He
nice
is.
things to say. Yeah, he kind of hit after all that sort of analog synthwave revolution, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? Like he found a sort of sweet spot, I thought. After that,
Well, I mean, 808 State were big movers and shakers in it all back here. From the late 87. You know, New Build is 1987, 88. And so there was the four of them, wasn't there? There was
Yep.
Graham Massey, Martin.
but you think, Brooks, you think about that sound that they came out
Lad.
with, right? It really,
Fabulous.
it took us away from that
Yeah,
whole
Gerald Simpson was part of that period.
Yeah.
It took us away from that whole sort of synth wavy sort of, we were just getting sick of it, I think, by
There's the
87.
origins of the beginnings, the origins of house and techno. Here, they were obviously well clued in.
Yeah.
There were a few people around at the time in this country. Baby Ford, similar sort of time, and it was like, this is a change. This is something new. This is fantastic. I remember the first time I heard 808 States 90 album, and I was like absolutely blown away. I thought, this is the new me. This is 808. That album from 808 State really was what pushed me into getting into producing my own house techno inspired music. 808 State was that, if you like, the tipping point that went, okay, forget trying to sound like Jean-Michel Jarre on Dream Dream, you're doing this now.
Yeah.
And off that went down that path. So yeah. Oh, Future New Build was an acid house album. Yeah, it was an acid house album. Basically, it's British acid house, like I said, Baby Ford tracks and all that stuff. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Alternate.
we got through the
all
show,
those guys.
people. We got through the show
Without mentioning oscillators.
without mentioning oscillators. Yeah, I just don't think we're going to have time, honestly. So because I
not
can't
worry.
spend another hour talking about oscillators. Why don't we just postpone oscillators till next week? I know that people are going to be annoyed by that.
Well, let them be
So-
annoyed. Be
just
annoyed.
say what
out there
Ricky
if you want.
Can I
Tina
ask-
said.
Got an
See you later,
oscillator there.
oscillator.
Can I ask an oscillator question? Just
Yeah.
because this is a full tone out. Is this Behringer Model D?
It's a full what?
I'm assuming it is a full tone out.
Oh, okay.
So
the tuning knob.
when you try and tune the first, yeah.
Okay, so let me
So I'm
let me
assuming
show you something.
I'm assuming I need. Go on then. I was going to say, don't I have to calibrate it?
Well, you can. There is a calibration
You
thing
can, yeah.
in the. So if you go to Behringer's website, there's a thing called Synth Tribe or something like that. I think it's called, or Synth Tool.
Yes.
What do they call
Download
it?
the software and you can do that. You also you need to leave it to warm up.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
It's amazing
for a
how
good
di-
hour. Yeah.
how different
Oh, not an
how
hour.
different they are.
15 minutes.
The Pro One is the Behringer Pro One. The tuning rarely drifts very much, but the D is all over the place.
So you've got
So-
Right.
Ian. You've got this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
So you
and that's
can-
why I tried.
So you can turn that on.
I tried tuning it to that,
Yeah.
and then I actually got a tune round and thought, this is miles out.
So there's your first oscillator tuning there, right? And then second and third. Okay. So you just obviously play an A. So mine sounds like it's. I haven't actually touched the tuning today, so. But they do actually stay in tune.
Thank God for DCOs.
Yeah.
Heretic.
But I would definitely run the Synth Tribe, Synth Tool. What are they
Synth Tribe, I
called?
think it is.
Right.
Synth Tribe. I downloaded it the other day.
Tribe.
Synth Tribe.
Synth
app,
Tribe. There it is.
Uh,
Yeah, Synth Tribe.
Yeah, Synth Tribe V2.5.0. At least that's what my current one is. Might be out
Right.
now.
Synth Tribe. Where does it
I'll
put it?
download
Under
it and have a go.
Behringer? Under Behringer? I don't know. I can't find it. I installed it the other day. I don't know where the hell it's gone. I tried it out.
Let's
It's
have a quick look.
where we go here. Oh, there we go. Cool.
Yep.
Right. Let me just open it up for you guys. Oh, that's right. You've got to open it by holding down Option or something, don't you? Option. There's a way to open this. Right click. That's right. Right click. Okay, so if this, I want to show you guys this actually. If you're on a Mac, right? Let's put this here.
Yeah.
And this is the M1 Mac running Ventura, so it's the most recent Mac you can get. If you double click on something and you get this error, you can't actually do anything about it.
Yeah.
So what you've got to do is right click on it and click open. And now you actually can open it. How fucking stupid is that? Sorry.
Oh, it's bonkers.
Oh my god, it's gone downhill.
It's a trust
Absolutely
certificate,
gone
right?
downhill. So.
We monitor that.
I've stuck the link.
I mean, we
in
even
the...
talked about Roland without swearing.
Oh, cheers, Andy.
Yeah, that's Behringer downloads. You might have to. I just typed in Synth Tribe in the search box, and there's Synth Tribe for Mac and Synth Tribe for PC. You can download them on that from there.
It's iOS as
plug
well,
it
but I'm not
in.
sure if it has all this in it.
Where is the USB? Oh, it's on the front of this thing, isn't it? That's right. Let's plug it in. Let's go to USB. There we go. Plug the USB in. There we go. Go back here. Look at that. We got Model D. Hooray!
Hey.
Yes, have them plugged in before you.
And there's calibration there.
setting.
That
Right.
tells you how to do it.
Cool.
And that shows you how to do it.
Oh, that's a job.
By opening it up.
That's a job for tomorrow then.
There is a video. There are probably a few videos, but there is one pretty good video on this on YouTube, and it's actually the one that's got the most views on it, which is generally the case. Check that one out before you do it, because I think there's a couple of things that this doesn't actually tell you by looking at it.
Right.
And there's also an instruction PDF somewhere floating around too. I'll see if I can dig it out for you anyway. But I have never had to do that on mine. So the fact that you're having to do it on yours is interesting. But you might have like an early model.
I think it's an early one. I mean, I'm not sure. In fact,
there's probably a firmware update you can do as well. You mentioned that.
Yeah, well, that Synth Tribe thing will tell you straight away if you've got a firmware update.
Right.
Yeah,
because the lady I bought it from, she was actually selling it for a brother-in-law who sadly had died in December, so she knew nothing about it.
Firmware update,
except it's in good. Right, cool.
I never had the tuning problem, but I only used it like 3 times. So
yeah,
I mean,
can we finish with the Rant?
I mean,
you can.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say I
finish
like
with the
it. I mean, I always did like the Model D, you know. But go, Andy. Go with the rant.
I wanted to get this off my chest, right? Because I bought the Hams, came with a nice little booklet, right? And I was thinking, oh, good, it's got a quick guide, a quick user guide. So I looked on the back, and it says 10 years of ALM, and gives you a nice big story. Well, okay, when I open it up, it'll be. So I open it up, then it tells you all sorts of the features. And then it shows you the lovely new screens and screen modes and the different colours that you can have. Oh, there. You can have different settings for different screen, different themes. And then I thought, I open it up to go, well, this will tell me what I'm doing. No, it tells me about all these other different ALM products that I can buy. and I was seriously irritated. I wanted it just to be a quick start guide to get me going. And what do I get? I can buy a bloody pallet case. Thanks very much, ALM, for that stupid bit of paper.
Well, by the way, does the new one have the cartoon character on the motherboard on the back of the unit?
Pass. I never looked. I just screwed it in the rack.
Because there's Pam on the back. There's a little cartoon
No, I
character
can't
on
be
the
asked.
back of
I'd have to. No, it was a bugger plugging it in because I had to plug it onto a flying bus cable, so I can't be asked even trying to find where that ended up going in.
Did the screen
There's
go
some
black for
jumpers
the
you can select
chatties
too.
before, by the way? I'm just wondering if the screen went black for a while because I might have accidentally hit a button on the ATEM when I was plugging that USB
Nobody
in.
said anything in the chat. I don't
Oh,
think.
Wagyu said it
Nobody
did.
said.
How long was it for black for? Was it just a short while? It was only just quick, wasn't it? Hope it's just real quick. Okay, good.
I run it on another computer. It was 5 or 10 seconds, I think.
Oh, that's okay, good.
Perhaps
I
more,
noticed
but I'm not
just
sure.
remembered-
when I
just remembered
unplugged the
something.
USB, it must have whacked the channel on the ATEM. Seconds, good.
Just
so you
remember
guys went to Pete.
something I want to tell the guys in the chat because I gave my 2 tickets away for Synth East, one to Jamie Morden and one to Jim. Jamie can't go now, so I have a spare free ticket for the day at Synthfest. It's Synth East, not Synthfest. If anybody wants it, I'll leave it till tomorrow night, and then I'll contact. I'll contact and see about giving it back. You know, but
Yeah,
there's a free ticket
I
if
also
anybody
am in
wants
the
it.
same boat. I've also got tickets which I bought before I was booked to play it. So again, I'll do the same. I'll wait till tomorrow night, and then it's probably available should anybody want it.
Yeah.
I'll contact Robin though to ask what he wants me to do with it because he might actually want it as a
Well, I
standard
did.
return. He
I
might have a
did
list.
contact Robin.
Okay.
Yeah, I did contact Robin at first, and he said, because I said, you know, I've got 2 guys who want the tickets, and he said, well, just hand it over to, you know, just send me your email confirmation. So I'm happy to send the email confirmation, but after tomorrow night, I'll also contact Robin and say, look, you must, have you got a list, Robin? Here's one and it's free because I don't want paying for it. You know?
So that brings us round to the fact that I won't be on next Saturday, Rans, because I'll be doing my bit at Synth East in Norwich next week. So just thought I'd let you know. But if anybody can get down to Norwich for the Saturday, it would be great to see you there. Do make yourselves known. It would be lovely to meet folk.
Okay, Saturday the 4th, and
That's correct.
daylight
Next
savings
I'm
and
just
stuff is
thinking I
going to
can't
start and stop soon, isn't it? So
Last weekend in March.
End of March.
or
yeah,
something.
so we're probably going to have to sort out start times. We'll sort that out in March anyway. I hate this. Okay, we're going to finish. So thanks everyone for being part of the show. Appreciate everyone, including the chatties. Thank you guys in the chat room for being part of it.
Okay.
And
Take care, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Darren, Andy, Ian, Brooksy, Henrik, and Chris. Let's quickly just... I don't
Techno
want to cut
acid
Chris
tomorrow.
off.
Excellent.
There we go. There's Chris. There he is. Sorry, Chris. We'll have to sort something out with that little StreamYard thing. Anyway, thanks everyone. Enjoy your weekend. And on that note, say hi to your mum.
Bye,
for me.
everybody. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye. Bye. See you later.